Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolours in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, Diane here. Welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to do a little bit of fun, just a bit of a play, and we're going to do this funky little pelican with a seagull with his friend by the sea. And what I'm going to do here is I did the drawing. I'll show you the process of how this was figured out this morning. I was sketching in a completely different notebook, came up with this idea. So then what I did was, and you can do the exact same thing, I then traced that onto tracing paper like this. And then now I'm going to use my light box, which is this little gizmo here, which has got a light behind this screen. You put the tracing paper. You could do this with the print that you've done from one of my downloads from the website. And then you put your piece of watercolor paper on top, and then you go over those lines that you have drawn. So you can see there my tracing, which I've already done just to save a little bit of time, which looks basically like this. Now, if you want to, you can do what I've done and go over those lines in quite heavy ink like that. And then when you then colour it in with your watercolours or your water brush pens or whatever you choose to use, you'll have something that looks like this, which has a kind of cartoon effect kind of thing, which is quite nice in its way. And here's another one that I did. This one's on watercolour paper. This one's on ordinary, quite thin paper. They both work. Make a nice card for a child. So, yes, let's get started with that then. This is the light box, and I'll have a link to this in the description below. Or you can go to our Amazon shop on amazon.com/shop/Diane Antone Studio, and I've got those listed on there for you. So, okay, here we are then. We've got our little pelican and our little seagull, and I'm going to just paint this very, very simply. Sorry about the shaking. That seems to be the dog walking up and down. We've got the door tightly closed, and stop scratching, Lottie. And paper on the window to keep the sun out because it's over 30 degrees here today. That's in the shade. And we've got that all week. It's quite unheard of for France, this part of France. Anyway, stop wittering. Okay, I've got here my little palette of summer colours. We've got cobalt blue. This is red. This is cadmium red and permanent rose. Excuse me. This is just cadmium orange, Windsor violet, sap green, turquoise blue, fly, quinacridone gold, lemon yellow, cadmium lemon, rather, and background to cobalt blue. And this little dish is available also on Amazon and also listed in our shop. If you go via our shop, we get a small commission, so that's always useful. Helps to support the channel. So you could paint this either in a realistic way, a semi-realistic way, or a whimsical way, or whatever. The fish are a little bit whimsical, so it would definitely, and obviously the pelican is not what you would call, neither of them are what you would call realistic, so I guess it is pretty whimsical. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ultramarine blue from my other palette. You could use cobalt, but my cobalt is a little bit grubby. So I'm just going to indicate some sky there and just soften those edges a little bit. I'm painting on, what am I painting on? This is Clairefontaine Etival watercolour paper. 100% cellulose, perfectly good for something like this. And now let's plunge into the water where we all want to be at the moment. Makes you think about installing swimming pools when the weather's like this, you know. So we'll just plunge in with the orange of the Pelican's beak. I know this is a bit exaggerated, but this is whimsical, so we don't care. And then we'll do the same kind of thing for the beak of the seagull. And then since I've got orange on my brush, I'm going to pop in some feet and legs, just like that. Just like that. Just like that, yeah. Does anyone remember Tommy Trinder? Some of you English people out there, I think it was Tommy Trinder, wasn't it, who used to say, just like that. Yes. Oh, I'm showing my age. This is a super quick painting. It really is. This is just a super quick one because every now and again you have to do a super quick one. Got another longer one coming up soon. So then I'm going to do stripes on the lighthouse. And I don't believe in painting inside the lines, so I'm not trying to keep inside my lines at all. And when this is done, when the painting is done, I'm going to go around with, excuse my voice, it's very dry here at the moment, with my pen and do some ink lines. Just checking that I've got everything on the camera. That's better. Sometimes you just get this feeling that you're doing everything wrong. Right, so we need some greeny blue. So I'm going to mix some turquoise with some cobalt blue and a little bit of sap green to give us a nice sea green kind of colour. Something like that. And I'm just going to dash in at the back here the horizon line. And then I don't want to be too precious about the waves. We just indicate a few sort of wave-like things. And down here as well, since I've got the colour on my brush rather than mixing it again. So this is a nice green, isn't it? That's, like I said, that's cobalt blue with a little bit of turquoise and a dash of sap green. And then I'm going to use a similar kind of colour for the shadow, except I want that a little bit bluer. Yeah, that's better, a bit bluer. For the shadow on the bottom part and the back of the neck of the pelican, and we'll just put a little bit there as well. And just soften that line a bit. And I'm going to use a little bit of that also on a little bit more blue on the seagull. Just soften those lines like that. Then we'll let that dry, and then I'll bring in the dark colours for the accents on the wings and that. Then we need a sort of brownish kind of colour. So I'm going to mix some violet with some quinacridone just to give us the brown for the piece of wood that the bird is standing on. You can do that any colour you like. It could just as easily be grey or whatever you want. And as you go along, you'll notice that your colour choices will determine what you do next. Now the fish. Shall we do the fish orange or red? Reddish orange, something like that to make them stand out. Goldfish, like koi. So we just do them in a sort of orangey colour because it's a nice contrast. There's not a lot of paint in this picture. And then, since I've got that on my brush, I'll just come in again and do a second layer on the feet of the birds, and second layer on the pelican's beak, and there. And then I want to pick up, this is an extra colour that I've got here. I've got a little bit of Payne's grey, no, neutral tint this is, could be Payne's grey, could be black, whatever, doesn't matter. And we'll just drop in some black there for the pelican's tail and his wing. And I don't know, do they have a little bit of, they might do. And then the seagull. And the wing, and the other wing there. And then, well, we could do the eyes with our brush or else with ink. Something like that. And now we're going to go to the pen. So I'll grab my Micron. I think I probably want a slightly bigger one than that. That's a 005. This is 8.3. Let's try that, shall I? The good thing about these is that they don't run. Let's start at the top and put in a couple of seagulls in the sky. And I think it's always a good idea to have 3 birds rather than 2. And so now this is where we let our hand shake as much as we want. And if you have a problem with shaking hands, or if you have been blessed with shaky hands, then you have a distinct advantage on this one, because shaky lines are cool. I like it that way. There's a book out, I don't know if it's a new book, what's his name? Paul Clark mentioned it in one of his videos the other day, by someone called Ptolemy, I think it's Ptolemy Dean. He's a famous London architect, and architect, that means to say that he does he's built all sorts of things. He does very precise lines, straight lines, and so on. He's got a book about architecture, but all the lines are wonky. You have to have a look at it on Amazon. You can take a look. All his lines are shaky like this. It's so funny. And he's drawn all these buildings, and they've all got shaky lines. It's so funny. But he's become quite famous. Well, he already was famous. He was already very famous. So give them some little nails. It's amazing, actually. I'm just going to correct that angle a little bit and come out there like that. And the wing here. These look like little sharks sticking out of the water, don't they? And this little seagull here, I always think they have such funny faces because they're half laughing and half frowning. Look like little lawyers. Teachers or something. There we go, their little webbed feet. Like that. Don't want to do too many details. We have this gasping fish here too, saying, why have I got my head this far out of the water? And then the wooden post or whatever it is that they're standing on. We need to just give that a bit of a sketch. And I might just put a few lines here at the bottom of the posts and underneath the fish. And if we just put a little smile line there, and then I think we might most probably, if I can find it, need to erase some of these pencil lines. Have I got a rubber somewhere? Have to be careful because I'm not sure if it's all completely dry yet. Scary. Okay, there's some lines in the sky. That's bound to be dry. Okay, I'm going to rub those out and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so there we are. I've rubbed off all of the pencil marks and I'm just going to drop in a few little dots and a little darkening on the fins of the fish, and I don't know, maybe I just want to fill that bit of the beak in there as well, perhaps. And I think that's about it. That's a super quick painting, very quick one that you can just dash off when you need a little card to give to somebody. And there we are then, 2 pelicans, just right for Florida. Longer one next time. What am I going to do? I don't know, something exciting. But anyway, there's our Paint a Bird a Day to keep the blues away. Hope you enjoyed that. Have fun. See you soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.